What's up, guys? Welcome to week 5. Today we're going to talk about envy and jealousy. If you've ever felt jealous of somebody else's life, or you feel that you receive a lot of jealousy from other people, this episode is for you. Jealousy and envy, they tend to get a really bad reputation. It's an emotion that people don't want to admit to feeling. But when you experience these things, I want you to think of it as a compass showing you your desire for some type of feeling. There's a way to use jealousy to meet your goals instead of feeling like you're falling behind or like you're not good enough. So I'm going to give you a couple of reframes, some journal prompts, and some ways to use it for your best benefit. It comes up a lot when we see somebody living out something that we want, but we won't give ourselves permission to want it. But I've found that it's often linked to a feeling more than an experience. So like a common one for me is travel. When I see other people traveling, I get so jealous because I love to travel. And I like the feeling of being on vacation, not having any responsibilities, getting to explore something new. And typically when you're traveling like that, you're doing it with somebody you love. So that's the feeling that I really want. It's not necessarily that I want to be in that person's life, but it's more that I want that feeling. So what I like to do is try to find ways to experience that feeling in the life I'm living right now. And what I'll do with that is let's use travel as an example still. I live in Colorado, so it's not that hard for me to recreate that where I live. So what I'll do is I'll try to find a new pond that I've never walked around, or a new hiking trail, even just a new neighborhood, and I'll go for a walk there, and that brings me novel experiences. Another version of that is finding a new mall to go shopping at, even if you don't buy anything, but just go in and look around. Finding a new experience, even in your hometown, can kind of feel like traveling. So I find that jealousy is often linked more to a feeling than it actually is to wanting to be that person or have that exact experience. It's a feeling that you want. And so I'll give you an example for travel, but also people will experience this with seeing people in love. If you're single and you see people in love, you might feel like, oh my God, that's all I want. But what you really want is to feel chosen. And I find that sometimes we are holding ourselves back from allowing these feelings because we're waiting for this specific thing to happen. But it's really you need to try to find that feeling in yourself. How often are you choosing you? Do you really need somebody outside of you to show you that you're capable of doing that? Do you really need to book the travel to find something new in your life? See how you can find those feelings in your day-to-day life. And don't get me wrong, I'm a goal chaser. I'm always going to want new things. I always go after something. So I'm not saying don't travel or don't fall in love. I am saying try to find those feelings already existing in your life so you're not in a perpetual state of wanting things outside of yourself. That keeps us in this yearning, desperation energy that's just not fun long term. And I see the goal in every little day is that we want to enjoy the life that we've built. And as a person who has strived after so many different things, when you don't allow yourself to feel those good feelings now and you don't find the good in the now, you'll be striving forever. If you never you'll just be striving forever to find something that doesn't exist. You have to try to find it in your day-to-day life now and know that all the other things will come. It will all come in eventually. You'll be able to book that trip. You'll be able to fall in love. But don't forget to build the feeling into your life now and make it comfortable for you. Some other common types of jealousy are jealousy about how somebody's job or career is going or what they're doing with their life. And I like to see that as it's a possibility for me too. So not always just about the feeling, but also see them as an expander to you. Oh my God, they're doing it. That means I have the capability to do that too. And it might be in a little bit of a different way. It might be more unique to your individuality, but that doesn't mean you can't do it. That doesn't mean it's not an option for you. And seeing other people do that, when it triggers jealousy, it's really showing us something about what they're doing is showing me something about what I would rather be doing than what I am right now. We want to frame other people's success as inspiration and expansion, not this constriction of oh, only they're able to do that, not me, I'm not enough. We tend to have these thoughts oh, they're so much better than me, or we jump into this social comparison loop that's really painful. And then even after that too, we kind of will get down on ourselves where we feel I should be happy for them. Why am I like this? I missed my chance. You can always start over. This is what this whole mindset podcast is about. So when you're feeling this way, I want you to consider that you're not necessarily jealous of the person, but you might be feeling frustrating feelings around your own unlived potential. And possibly the fear of missing out on something that's exciting. I'm the queen of FOMO, much so that you guys know I'm spiritual. My spirit team literally put on a license plate in front of me one time, Miss FOMO. I was yeah, I know. I definitely have a fear of missing out. Although I'm working on it, I'm getting better about it. Every time like I get through those feelings, I'm reminded like I just need to relax because I can't miss out on anything that I'm supposed to experience. Like I truly wholeheartedly believe that we do not miss out on things that are for us. The only things that might pass us by are things that are not actually for us. There is no rush, like we talked about on the age episode of this podcast series. Like there's plenty of time, and if that's something that feels tough to you, go back and listen to the age. Okay, so now it is time to pull out your journal. When you notice feelings of envy and jealousy coming up inside of you, that social comparison loop where you start comparing yourself to the people you see online or your friends in real life or that family member that's always doing better than you, whatever it is, you need to practice asking the following questions. What specifically am I jealous of right now? What am I envious of? And what feelings are associated with that? Common feelings, if you are disconnected from your emotions like I used to be, would be freedom, visibility or significance, beauty, ease, courage, stability, love, connection, and belonging. Spontaneity could be one too. And then what value are they showing me that I have? So what they're showing you is they're showing something that you value, and you might be suppressing that value. You could be suppressing it out of fear. You could be suppressing it out of loyalty. So just like think about like, what is the thing that I desire here, and why am I suppressing it? Why am I not looking at it? I will say that anything we suppress, it's like a weed. It will just keep growing and it will keep coming back. And it will also make like negative emotions around it grow, like fear or just like feeling bad feelings. So I like to bring it up and self-validate it. Like you don't need to go telling the world like, I'm so jealous of this person because they get to do this and now I'm suppressing whatever. Like this is for you to learn about yourself and be comfortable in your own body. So I want you to be able to like self-validate this and just look at it and say, okay, this is how I feel and this is why I feel that way. You can also take this now and say, how can I use this in my own unique way to express a version of myself in this value, and take a baby step or a baby action towards becoming a person that expresses this value. This way you can create your own unique version of that feeling in your life. Sometimes you can do it right now in this moment. Sometimes it's something you're going to have to build, like a brand new career or a brand new life in a sense. So what is the first baby step that you can take towards creating this in your world for you as your individual blueprint? The more you practice this, the more easy it becomes to see this as a compass just for you. It helps you build an internal world where you actually acknowledge what it is that you want and stop suppressing things that you desire, and allow you to create a life that is built more around who you authentically are. I will say, like, as a person who has practiced this for many years now, eventually you stop really feeling envy towards other people, like, at all, because you become really happy with your own life and you realize, like, what they have is not exactly what I want. I've started to build it in the right way for me. That's the beautiful part about creating a life based off of it and taking those steps based off of it, is because you start to get to this point where you're really like self-fulfilled and nothing outside of you pulls you into these like social comparison loops anymore. You also don't really feel like you're missing out on as much, which is very true, as Queen FOMO over here would say, because I used to think I was missing out on everything, and now I'm like, dude, my life is cool. But, you know, like, I know that I'm working towards living out the potential that I really wanted to. So I feel a lot less fear of, like, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Now I want to look at the other side of this. When you start something big, a new business, a big dream, it can even be a small new hobby. It could be working out, you know, depending on the people that you're surrounded by, you may receive a lot of envy and jealousy, and it is uncomfortable. When we expand ourselves, we have this thing that happens where it's like you shine a light on other people's insecurities. It's not like you're doing it on purpose. It's not like you're trying to call anybody out. It's just that they see what you're doing, and the inside of them will instantly notice, like, oh my God, I'm not doing enough. Oh my God, they're this and that. Like, they start to feel uncomfortable. And most people's natural tendency when they feel uncomfortable is to project it back out to the source that caused it. They may not see that this is an internal thing going on, right? So it's going to come right back to you. And that sucks sometimes. But what I want you to realize is that these are projections of other people's inner worlds. They are not about you. It is about them and what they don't want to face inside themselves, their own inner demons. Like, this has nothing to do with you and everything to do with another person's inner world. People that are doing more than you, people that believe in you, they're always going to reflect back to you like a positive mindset. They're always going to be like, I believe in you. I know you can do this. I think what you're doing is awesome. Here's some more resources for you. Like, they're going to reflect back positively. People who do not have an inner world that is supportive of expansion are going to come back at you with their projections. Like, I can't believe you would do that. Who do you think you are? That's such a weird way to live. Like, they'll make you feel bad because they're feeling shame and they want to deflect it. So it's going to come back on you, and I want you not to take it personally. The other thing is that, like, when people do big things, it can make people feel small, or like less relevant or less important. And so like they might start having this internal circuitry of like, where do I fit in now here with you if you're doing this thing that's so much bigger than what I'm comfortable with? And so like, just know that people may have funny reactions to you. It's not your responsibility to fix those reactions. It is your responsibility to be yourself and expand into that version of you, so that eventually when their mental walls start to break down, they can see that it's a possibility for them too. It's so common that when you start to feel this way, or when people start to project things onto you, that you'll want to hide or make yourself smaller, stop sharing your wins, stop being authentic because you just want to fit in and feel relatable again. But that's going to foster resentment in you long term. So don't do that. And again, like, the right people for you are not going to be afraid of your success. They're going to be like aligned with you and happy for you. So don't shrink yourself to be relatable. Even if it feels lonely for a period of time, you will meet more people who your goals are completely normal to. They're like the everyday lifestyle of somebody else. So even if the circle that you were born into or the place that you are surrounded by doesn't fit your goals right now, doesn't fit your visibility right now, it will. Just keep having the faith and develop a really strong relationship with yourself, so that when the lonely times come, you're not making yourself smaller to fit in. I want to just point out, like, somebody else's envy for you is their own unprocessed grief for the life that they chose not to live. Doesn't mean they can't still choose to live it, but right now they're not choosing it, and that's not your fault. That's their responsibility. That's their life. Yes, some people have big barriers to being able to do things, but again, not your responsibility to make everybody around you happy and feel comfortable all of the time. Okay, so I'm going to close out with a few more journal prompts. Just remember that your envy is not the director of your life, whether it is envy you feel for other people or envy that's directed towards you. It is a GPS, a little compass showing you where to go. And when you feel that from other people, just remember that you are doing big things. You are expanding into the version of you that you are supposed to be. And it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Allow people to feel their feelings about it and let them be. Do not let it shrink you. Remember that when you suppress your feelings of envy, it's going to turn into rumination. It's going to give you a bunch of weird projections about another person that don't exist. So don't stay there. Acknowledge it. Use these journal prompts to acknowledge it. If your envy were a trailhead sign, what direction would it be pointing you in? For 1 week, every time that envy appears, notice what it is that you want and write it down. I notice I want blank. Also, I don't think it hurts to dig a layer deeper. Why do I want that? Find out what the feeling is behind it, but just start there. And I have kind of a lot of these, just like basic prompts today, but I'm going to go through all of them and you can pick and choose your favorites. Who do I envy and what do they symbolize for me? Desire have I been minimizing to stay safe or relatable, likable? Where have I shrunk or hidden because somebody reacted negatively to my growth? How can I pursue this desire in a way that feels authentic to me? What risk am I avoiding that someone else took? What part of me wants permission? A lot of times we just are so desperate for permission to do something that we really want to do. And when we go ask a bunch of other people, they won't give it to us. They'll give us all the reasons why not. So that's why I talk about self-validation. And the next episode, I think, is actually on external validation. So we'll talk more about it next week. What does my envy want me to try? This could be like a new hobby or just like something a little different out of the box. And then I'm going to add a very quick note before this. I feel like most people listening to my podcast aren't going to be creep shows, but shame is a tricky emotion. So before I say this next journal one, I just want to prompt this with, obviously, all these desires that I'm talking about with you today are healthy desires. I do not promote any bad behavior, any harmful behavior towards other people or anything like that. And the reason I'm saying that is because when shame comes up, there's a lot of weird stuff associated with it. So I just want to preface this with that beforehand. What would it look like to want this desire without the shame associated with it? Shame comes up when we feel like we are bad or when we feel like we've done something wrong. A lot of us have been guilted, like in the last episode, to feel shame for things that we shouldn't necessarily be ashamed of, maybe just for being ourselves or for wanting things. It could be for wanting to spend money on something, but we had a parent or a friend or a partner that was really weird about money. So that's kind of what I'm talking about here. Maybe we had people who thought art was weird, or like whatever it is. It's that type of shame that I'm talking about, not like creep show shame. Okay. This week, can't wait to see you next week. It is external validation next week, so we're going to talk a lot about external validation, what that means, and how to flip it to self-validation. I can't wait to see you next week. Thank you so much for tuning in, and enjoy the beautiful weather outside today.